Alright, we are here, we are alive. No bells on, just back to the drudgery. And I'm on time. In fact, smidge early. That's okay. We'll be good. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'll try not talk to you all like a bunch of kids. Okay, just adjusting some things. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Alright. Okay, got you on the chat. That's great. Okay. From the ashes, Q's, Alan's, Q's, again, Sam, Miles, Laptop, Christian, David, speaking to PR, Greg, and a few people before that. Alright. Let's see. Just got to do some quick cleanups. I'm trying to work out what devices these HDMI ports belong to. I think that one's a PlayStation. This one's got like A209B written on it. I don't know what they're from. It's either Xbox or PlayStation, then I don't even know which one it is. So that's going to make things complicated. Because then if a customer says to me, hey, can you fix this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I have no idea if I got that port or not. Let's see, John got a new job as a technology field engineer with Ticketmaster. Oh, great. So you get to meet Taylor Swift. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so this is one of them. What do we got? M1087810. This is a A209B. So yeah, I don't know what this is from. This metal shield kind of feels reminiscent of maybe an Xbox, maybe Series X. I don't know. Tweezers. Oh, there, Darius. I just thought maybe the number A209B might have been the hint, but probably not. And then this one is still in its packaging, but I'm pretty sure this is a PlayStation one. It's got that upside down quality to it. I was kind of hoping I'd know them. So it's this one. Series S model and the X model. Okay. Alright. Okay, it looks like we've got some lag going on here. Maybe. So this one here we're saying is the Xbox Series X. Okay, so it wasn't too far off. Just put some tape over it. It's kind of handy to spend 5 minutes to work it out and then know for the future that you have one, rather than finding yourself constantly reordering things that you already have in stock, or losing a job because you didn't know you had it in stock and you tell the customer, I'll have to order that, and they're like, yeah, no thanks. Alright, well, I'm not, that one there I guess I'm not too worried about. Fat or slim PS4? Okay. We'll just go fat or slim PS4. stick that in my box of other connectors. Connectors that I've barely used. What's frustrating is that the last couple of jobs that I've had to replace ports on gaming machines, barring the Nintendo Switch Lite that we had the other day, they have all not picked up. I've got their machines. I think I've got a PS4 and a PS3 just sitting out in my shed rotting because they didn't come and pick up their stuff. Okay, so the other one is fat. Okay, I might just write that down then. Funny enough, I've got this written for Nintendo, but for now, I don't have enough parts to fill out more boxes, so there we go. Oh, I don't want to go putting them on eBay. Good God, no. I mean, it's tempting, but I can just see that'd be a nightmare. Alright, well, first task I've got for tonight is to actually fit these out. I know, it's boring. Big whoop. This is now the live channel, so I'm allowed to do boring stuff because I'm not trying to actually, get anywhere with YouTube on this. It's just a case of, well, this is what I'm doing, and you people are willing to sit down and have coffee or chew the fat, whatever the hell you want to call it, and chat with each other. Crazy thing is, that's right, I've actually got a board as well that someone hasn't picked up. Like, they took the board out of the PlayStation and wanted me to fit a new port on it, did that, and again, never turned up. It's like, what happens with these people? Do they just go out and buy a new machine or something, I guess? Okay. So a lot of these are a bit messy, and that's because the weather was perhaps a little humid. Not enough to delaminate the layers. I do have one or two where I found that the layers did actually, like the bottom layers and all that, would actually come away. Obviously I haven't put them into use. They went into the bin, but nonetheless, yeah, the weather is... I need to buy myself one of those filament dryers, active filament dryers, where you can put the reel into it and then feed the filament out into the printer from within. I also need to invest in something like an S1 Pro. Hey Tom Morgan. Oh yeah, nobody's got mods. Haha. Yeah, tough. Miles, I would love to put things on eBay, but unfortunately the state laws basically make it impractical for me to do that. I've discussed it a few times before. I do wish that they would amend the laws to say reduce the have a value threshold. So say if it's like, look, this device isn't worth more than $500, we're not going to make you put it through the whole auction bullshit. Come down to Sydney problem solving. Yeah, wouldn't that be it? I have a whole different set of problems, but that wouldn't be one of them. Trading 1 for 10 seems like a bargain. Q's, as for the YouTube thing, you're talking about why I've done a live channel. Basically, the issue is that you can't tell YouTube to not serve up live stream recordings. And yeah, I get it, but it'd be nice to have the option to sort of go, look, don't serve content up from this, well, with this, what do you call it, playlist or these tags. Because there really isn't enough density of interesting things in a live stream typically. That's what the edited videos are for. Anyway, so you can't tell YouTube that, so the only real option you're left with is you create a separate channel and strictly for your live streams. And then if there's something interesting that happens, like a part burns up or whatever, then you can make a nice edited video, put that onto your main channel, and then that way it would be beneficial to you. It can get you views or monetary stuff, whatever. But right now I essentially have to set all of my prior live streams to unlisted, otherwise YouTube just keeps serving it out. And because I had something like 960 odd live streams, it was a pretty good chance that most of the time people would be served up a live stream and they're like, well, this is boring, and they'll be out of here. Isn't it easy if some high numbers to same pay? It could be. But also, it's actually a lot easier though if I just use dry filament. The downside of the sandpaper, of course, the finer particles involved, at least with cutting it, it isn't too bad. Yeah, you're basically just mostly cutting the little knobs off rather than sanding them down. Hey there, horse. Yeah, Christian, it is I, for a long time, didn't bother with it because, one, I didn't know that YouTube was sort of effectively destroying your channel because of that. And two, because I thought the process was a major pain in the backside, because at the time that I last tried it, it was a major pain to try and switch back and forth. But I will admit, they have made it very easy now to associate, like in this case, the live channel under your main YouTube account. And so, yeah, I went along and did it. It was a lot easier than I thought. And I'm happy I did it, I hope. I've already seen that there's been an improvement in the numbers on the main channel. So it could be coincidence, but we'll see how it goes in a month. I have a deburring tool. I do have a deburring tool, but the trouble is that it's a curved one. So it's not actually going to really work with what I'm dealing with in here. Because a lot of the bubbles and stuff that I'm cutting off, they're across the entire flat span. So if I try to deburr, I'm just going to take the inside edge off, which is great, but it's not going to take out the little knobs in the middle of it. So I need a broader deburrer for that. Anyway, like I said, the best thing for me to do is spend the 150 or whatever and get a filament drying tool. Toby, I see Creality has a new one out, and that's the one I was going to try. And I figured, yeah, I'd buy it at the same time that I get the S1 Pro. I have seen the one you're talking about, yeah. Oh, the curved ones are preferred, but curves are preferred. Wait, did someone just start talking manly stuff then? If you do buy a ring light and you want a blue one, just say so in the, just send me an email or say so on the PayPal purchase. Otherwise, it will tend to be random which ones I give out. I figure the blue's a nice match for considering my logo is the blue and black. We're getting there. Scared of what's this, Q's? I'm scared to try my printing material that's been sitting around. Oh, right, yeah. If you've got PLA and it's been sitting around, it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare, I found. I've got PLA that I didn't use for maybe 3 months, just to open in the air, and it really does not want to print. It constantly slips or breaks. So I didn't really see a lot of use for the filament dryers and things like that, but now that I've got to the point where I need to print stuff and I need the better quality and such, I'm like, yep, okay, I can see the need for a filament dryer. If you use the filament straight out of the packet when you buy it, well, that's fine. You're not going to have that. It's not going to be a problem, at least for a day or two. Not that I am in any way a 3D printing person. This is about as sophisticated as I've gotten with creating my own models. And I am using a Ender V3, which is your entry-level machine. It was donated to me by Teresa. So it was an excellent introduction for me. Low cost sort of entry. Get a feel for the ropes. Work out what you're going to do. Whether a 3D printer even has any use for you. That was one reason why I haven't had one for ever before. I never really had or needed one that I could think of. I was more interested in getting the CNC router, which funnily enough I haven't used. But I had plans for it. Would be rather slow. The Creality is always 10 degrees, 10-20 warmer. Do you mean the dryer, Toby, or do you mean the bed? Have you seen their new dryer that they're selling? Yes, this one can do ABS as well, as in the Ender V3 or whatever. But the fact that it emits the fumes and things like that, I don't think I want to try it just yet. It's kind of like me running the reflow oven. It's like I just don't want to do it. I don't have an enclosure, but I do have a stand. I'll just have to upload that stand. I figured it's probably not that hard for people to create their own either. A couple of minutes with a pair of calipers and you'll be on your way. Good chance for the community to practice some creativity. Whoops. You talking about the pie space of Creality or what? Oh, I think you must have found it then. All I know is when I've gone to their website, they've got these new filament dryers, fancy looking things. Well, I'm pretty happy with the PLA. I mean, not the PLA, the PET. I guess one day I'll try, but I still will be doing it like in a environment where I can keep the air clear. You can really see the difference that the dryer made, because these are with dry filament and they basically, there's no finishing required and the holes are beautifully defined, whereas the black ones, that PET was sitting out for a while. It did start to improve the other day because of the weather just being so dry, but it still has a little bit of stringing going on. PySpace versions, is that what they are? Okay. I'll have to look at it closer. Why does everything have to be Pi these days? Like Raspberry Pi stuff. It's kind of ridiculous how the Pi has gone from being a very affordable SBC to now I think it's like 200 and something bucks. I can get an entire J5040 mini ITX motherboard for less than it costs me to get a Pi 5 set up. So I kind of feel like they're drifting a little bit far, but yeah, obviously there's enough market there. And I suppose they still sell the older, earlier versions, don't they? I think I've got some Pi 3s around here that one of them died and the other one, I don't know what's happened to it. And they did a reasonable job of being a little standalone kiosk type browsing machine. We're getting there, only a couple more to go. I mean, queues, yeah, I suppose you're right there. I guess I sort of want to get an entire separate new machine, and that way I've got a spare machine as well, or a concurrent machine. Unfortunately, they're not too expensive at the moment either. They're on special. Certainly the improved extruder is a big thing. Because I think that's where I'm having trouble with the PLA at the moment, is that with the single gear extruder that the V3 comes with, it's slipping too much. I think, Miles, the appeal of the SBCs is sometimes it can mean substantially quicker development time for a project that's perhaps a little bit too complicated or ill-defined for a large microcontroller setup. So an SBC sort of gives you that get out of jail type of option, particularly if it's on a if you've got a well-supported operating system running on it, like we have with the Pis. So I guess it's sort of like, yeah, just gives you escape options if you don't plan your project well in the first place. Plus, it's a very easy setup. But I know what you mean. It's like, well, as I was saying, like you can get the J5040 mini ITX boards for less than you can get a 5 now, Pi 5. And it's an x86. And a pretty good one at that too. Would running the side of a drill against those rings help remove the flash? Probably not really any more than... I mean, this works pretty good. And we're done. There's really nothing for me to do with these. They've got a little bit of bobbling here and there, but I can actually knock that off my fingertips. Vastly better print on the blue. Okay, now we clean this up. Then we just got to put the inserts in. Yeah, this should work. Found blue best for printing. Oh, do you mean as in it gives you the most consistent behavior? Yeah, I'm playing with fire here. Not literally, but uh-oh, now I'm in trouble. Yeah, I've been on a printing spree since, like I said, the weather has been kind to the filament. So I'd be printing them out in batches of 4 at a time, and basically just letting it run constant. So this is definitely boring, drudgery type stuff, but you know, it's going to be done. And the upside is at least when the sales come through, we're ready to go. I am still very much waiting on my 8x2 displays. I don't know what. They just sort of like stopped showing up on the tracking from the 18th, which of course makes me a little bit concerned. I don't know about being ASMR there, B-Blood. I think I talk too much for that. And the fan noise is a bit much. I guess it depends on your level of ASMR. Ach, niemand. I probably should find a tip that's a bit better suited for doing this work. For now, the old chisel does the job. Upside down. Why is it every single one of them I pick up is almost guaranteed to be upside down? I'm running the fan because there are still, even though it's not really a lot of heat, there's enough heat and there are some fumes that come off, and I find the fumes less than pleasant. It is a little bit naughty using your soldering iron to do this, because if the plastic gets onto the tip of the soldering iron, the plastic is very acidic when it's in that molten state. So it will eat right through the protective plating of your soldering tip. This is chisel, so it's close to conical. It's like conical compromise. Don't you think? Yeah. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about being perfectly perpendicular or anything like that. As long as it's within the vicinity and it pokes inwards, then I think we're okay. We will do some assembly work just now. Hey there, Pro Engineer. Hey, Mr. McDermott, you're here too. So yeah, you're probably going to find a little more quiet, relaxed, slow on this new channel now. Should be enough to drive away a few thousand. Oh wait, there's not even 1,000 people here yet. I was actually quite surprised when I went to bed last night. It was saying I still had 20 hours before it would let me do a live stream. And then I got up this morning and refreshed the page, and I was like, well, you can stream whenever you want now, buddy. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I don't know what changed overnight that YouTube decided, no, you're good, you can stream whenever you want. Mr. Stamps, no, that's true. He might be in a little bit later. I did start this stream at 9 o'clock, whereas usually I have a tendency of not starting till 10:30. Mostly because I've obviously got to deal with micros injection. And so often it's easier just to get that out of the way first and then get on with the stream. I am hoping we'll be able to try and also get some temperature tests done with the heatsink options. I'm wondering if I can get away with just putting the thermocouple into a blob of hot glue or something, because the ring light shouldn't get hot enough to fully melt the hot glue. It might soften it, but it shouldn't get hot enough to melt it. But the hot glue should also act as a sort of a thermal, a good stable thermal encasement for the probe to sit in. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. I always thought, I can't remember whether it used to be that you had to have 100 subscribers, but I thought that might have been before you could monetize. I don't know. All I know is that I woke up this morning and it was happy to let me stream. Hey there, Harold. Welcome. You building anything today, Harold? If this streaming split system goes alright, I might have to talk to Joey Does Tech, because last night, or the night before actually, we were discussing the whole, just on his live stream, discussing why either of us didn't have a separate live streaming channel. And it was actually he who told me about, or alerted me to, like, remember that YouTube's going to be serving up your boring ass live streams amongst all the rest of your content, so it's actually going to be detrimental. And so what he does is sets the delisting immediately on the stream termination. And the main reason, as I said at the start of this one, is that previously, or at least I remember it being a bit of a pain to run two concurrent channels, but YouTube has taken steps to make that easier. So now I might have to go back on my stance when I speak to him next and say, you know what, you should actually try it. Hey, Brad. Yeah, I mean, normally I have for the last 7 years, but I thought it was something to try for a change. I mean, I delisted all of my prior live stream videos, or they're unlisted. So they're on the server, the YouTube server, but they're just not listed. After I'd been talking with Joey. But then, I thought I'd take the extra step and give this dedicated live streaming channel a shot. Because it doesn't actually help you at all. Like, the live streaming channel pretty much will not get you any kind of monetary, any sort of monetary wins, really. But it does indirectly if it's not diluting the value of your main channel. And I think that's the key thing. It's not that you're trying to double up your income by having twice as many channels. It's that you're trying to stop the live streams from devaluing your mainstream. See, Brad's you got a quarter of my subs, so you got about 10,000 and something. It's worth trying anyway. I mean, I'll certainly know in another month or so. It usually takes around about that amount of time to have the YouTube algorithm sort itself back out. You get most of your money from the live streams via supers and membership. Oh, okay. Alright, you got a loyal herd. Well, they probably actually like your content. Whereas here, it's more a case of hanging out at the water cooler because work is boring and sucks. So it's like, well, we'll stick around the water cooler and talk trash. Even though we'd probably rather be back at home playing with our train sets or something. I mean, in your particular case, if you're doing like musical gigs and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, live kind of does make more sense for you. Well, today right now, we're almost finished just prepping the adapters we use for the microscope ring lights. And funnily enough though, I actually do have an iPhone 8 here. I want to quickly check, see if I can't fix it. It's got a short on the logic board somewhere, I think. The main reason is there's a $50 note in the box. So I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I could take that. Oh, 90% electronics and some guitar repairs. Oh, okay, alright. Sorry, mistranslated. Harold getting demanding now. There goes a brass nut. No, get back here. Okay, this one's going to now be super hot. Oh yeah. Okay. Clean the tip. Very good. Make sure there's no plastic left on it. I better buy a few more of these. Hey, Noel Dickinson. I just realised something. Sorry, folks, we're not 100% finished yet. Harold's getting cheeky. Well, tell you what, Harold, I'm going to play with my plastic screws instead. If I don't do it now, it's going to be later. Alright, I'm not going to be putting in the metal self-tappers tonight. That happens only at the final assembly stage. Yes, these are ring light devices. Let's see, do I have one around here? I can't see one handy at the moment, but yeah, they're ring light. They fit around the microscope lens assembly and give you a downward light projection. Ugh, nee man. Oh, somebody cross-threaded. Main reason for using the nylon ones is that they provide probably a little bit more compliance with the Barlow metal assembly that you're screwing down on, but they also minimize the heat transfer and don't scratch up the Barlow. The E14 fire sale, I did not see that. What was when did that come through? Maybe I did and I just didn't bother looking. Maybe I thought, damn it guys, I've already spent a couple of thousand with you. When are you going to let me go? There's a few more things I have to buy from, so it's like, yay, another $500-600. But I'm kind of holding off at the moment. I got them to price drop on a couple of things that I wanted. That was nice of them. They're pretty good when you ask for a price match or something like that. As long as it's reasonably reasonable. I'm very much enjoying it, John. I'm thinking of all the profit I'm making in the future from all these. We may run out of nylon screws, but I do have plenty more. So is it just a general wide fire sale, like 20% off everything? Wouldn't that be nice? Or something else. They're a funny company. They have such high prices on a lot of things, and then every now and then they will just drop a real gangbuster of a low price on something, and you're like, whoa, and you go in there and gobble it up when you can. Like, I'll take every bit of stock you have of that, thank you very much. Like, whenever they put the screw organizers on sale that I use, or at least in the past, I just buy up everything they had. Just ask Pedro, he knows all about that. When he went to go and buy some. Did you buy them all, you bastard? It's okay, I've got plenty more nylon screws where these ones came from. These were from Element 14, but then of course, once I'd worked out what I needed, I went off to AliExpress. Just to show my patriotic loyalty. 95%, whoa! Oh, okay, yeah, that's crazy. It does sound like a fire sale. Bing and DuckDuckGo down. What the heck's going on there? Google finally take them out. Yep. Okay, we need more nylon screws. Oh, by the way, Brad, this is the ring light. Basically, it's a dead one, but that's what you're looking at. Seriously, man? Don't you just love it when you have everything organized and then you go to utilize that organization and find that you can't find what you organized? What? Where is my stuff? Maybe I put it in the wrong box or something? What do we got here? Oh, here we go. Thank goodness. Checking for parcel. Oh my goodness. Alright, this channel is degenerating already. What do you expect with a channel full of crusty old men? Slightly different head design, slightly different grade of nylon, but still very much the same. I can guarantee you, well actually no, I can't guarantee you, but there's a pretty good chance also if I buy from the same supplier again, I will get a different grade of nylon and do yet again. Consistency is not something you can rely on when it comes to sourcing from abroad. Unless you pay a lot of money. And then you get a high quality one. Okay, I might have to carve that one out. There's just a little bit too much plastic remaining in there. So we're going to use my cutting bolt along with my, what was it, 15 or a 10 that I use on this? No, I've never used offshore injection molding. I can imagine that's a very expensive and probably nerve-wracking thing. I think that's where 3D printing's really helped a lot of people. It, you know, bridges that gap for you. So you don't quite get the quality, at least not initially, of what you would from a good injection print. But you also don't end up spending 10 grand a pop on the molds. No, I didn't program a print a thread in there. It's just a hole there for the brass insert to go into. For the tops here where the actual, you know, where this sits on, I just use little 1.7mm self-tappers. The ones that have the cut and flush on the end. Yeah, I've definitely got two different types of nylon screws here. Yeah, you can see they're very different. One's glossy with a broad opening. The other is opaque with a narrow opening. The opaque ones feel a little bit harder. I don't think it's going to matter. Worst case scenario, people can use their own choice of metric 3 screws. Yeah, the nylon's going into the brass. And then the self-tappers are just whatever trashy steel Yeah, definitely the opaque ones. They're a lot floppier. Oh, we got another jammed up one, so we're gonna have to put the cutter through it. Oh no, not the J-car walk of shame, my goodness. I really loathe and detest having to resort to using J-car because you know that 99% of what's in that store is massively overpriced, sourced from AliExpress, or it's just random trash, half their store at least. I think that's where Dick Smith was really nice, is that there were a few gadgets, but overall, most of the content at DSE was legit. They didn't care about bizarro things. I mean, there was the occasional one. I remember being in the catalogue when I was working there. Hey, Therese, Teslas? Yeah, I worked at DSE from, I think it was about 88. Yeah, about 1988 for a couple of years. I did not enjoy it. It was very much a disappointing hopes and dreams event. I was thinking I was going to be talking electronics and all sorts of cool stuff with other people who are like-minded. Instead, it was just another random sales job. Because I was, fairly young at that time, because at the time you couldn't get a job until you were 15. And so I wasn't aware of the fact that Dick Smith had long since sold out to Woolworths, and that Woolworths had decided, let's turn this more into a retail appliance type business. Funway into electronics, yes it was. I didn't care much for Funway 1, but certainly 2 and 3 I got them all. Then there was the constant challenge of trying to get your itty bitty weird circuit published in Electronics Australia or ETI for a whole $20 bonus. Siri. Hey Siri. Thank you. Okay, that's the. Oh wow, she actually replied, no problem. That's the first time she's ever been nice back to me. Never had that before. Normally when I do that sort of pattern, it's just, she goes quiet. She's never thanked me for thanking her. I feel like a new relationship has started. Yeah, it's the micro insulin injection alarm. So I'll just finish these last 4 and then I'll go do that. It'll make a natural break. That's a glossy big. So we've got 3 to go. This is an opaque small. Oh, the cricket project. Yeah, that was always fun, as it were. I was more into the FM radio stuff, but then I got onto the Talking Electronics FM bugs. They were much nicer. Made a good deal of profit as a school kid making and selling those things. They're certainly way better in their quality than the Dick Smith one. Okay, last one. Did anyone get the VZ200 or the VZ300 computer, or maybe the Wizard? I had the 200, broke that, and then got the 300, and then got myself a PC. Okay, that's that done. Well, I wouldn't say a quality issue per se, it's just more the consistency. With 2 different types of nylon screws in amongst that lot. Yeah, it's just 500 pieces, and yeah, that's about it. Okay. Okay. At least I know I don't have to do them for a few days. Alright, I'll go deal with micro. Yeah, the Voyager bugs were quite good. Be right back. Cool my hands down. Catch you later there, Brad. Another bin. Looks like we need to wipe down the bench again. Okay. Where's that iPhone? So we're going to have to take it out. I'll get my DT880, or my version of it. Now the only trouble is I can't remember which one is the working one. That one. Not that one, okay. Let's just swap this board, put this one on it. Hey there, Gabriel from Romania. From Romania, not Ramonia. God. Learn to speak, Mr. Daniels. There's a few of you who might know what a DT880 is. Anyway, this is my functional replication of it. It does have a PC interface, so I can actually make it hook up like the USB-C meter. But I'm not going to do that right now. Zoom in. Okay, so we're on iPhone 8. Well, Miles, I've got a few of them, but I just can't decide whether I'm actually going to go ahead with putting them into production or not. Okay. So this is going to be upside down for you guys, but basically you put the power on. and shorts out straight away, so that means there's a great big fat short on the board. Alright, that's fine. That's what I thought it was, so let's pop that off. The main thing is that what I wanted to do is both the original DT880 and mine, they do that. They drop out if there's a short. I want to redesign that so that it doesn't drop out, but instead gives you the option to continuously supply a sort of a safe current, like 1 amp, 1 volt, or something like, up to 1 amp constantly. But it's not such a trivial thing to work out, and also the problem is that the cost is starting to get a little bit out of hand on these things. This chip here, it's a extremely low LDO. Like, you have low dropout regulators, and this one is even lower than low dropout, but it costs a hell of a lot of money compared to most of the other parts, and I just don't know if I can make it economically viable. So it's great to have these ideas, but not everything works out to be able to be commercialized. I do see that Tool has come out with their own new kind of thing like that. Sometimes you just have to go, you know what, this would be great, but I don't think I can get it to market at a price that people can buy. Like right now, already I'd be struggling if I sold it for anything less than 80 US. Probably 90 would be better. And yeah, you just can't make that really work in that sort of environment when you're dealing with China directly selling the same sort of tool for a hell of a lot cheaper. Yeah, it's hard to justify that. I've got to sneeze. Sorry about that. You got to know when to walk away from a market. The tool won't have, no, it won't, but it won't be $50 more, worth more though. That's the trouble. So, can you really expect people to pay $50 more? I wouldn't. I'm just lucky, okay, I can make it for myself, that's great, I'm happy, it solves my issue with regards to not having, well, funnily enough, I do have a DT880, and it works perfectly fine. The other thing is getting the cables for it. Like, my price wouldn't even include cables, so yeah, it really starts to become difficult to get the market to swallow that kind of excess. I mean, sure, if I wanted to make $5 out of each one, yeah, I could compete. But I don't want to make just $5 out of each one. There are customers who produce. The thing is, I don't know if there's enough of them. That's the problem. Ish. Oh, that's right. The iPhone 8 has a secret screw right here. It catches me most times. Right after I've snapped the board in half. No, just kidding. I don't do that. Not often, anyway. Use a Rode mic. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, yeah, the pricing, and you get the quality of it as well. Alright, board out. Stick this chassis and screw somewhere safe. Let's have a look at it under the microscope. Well, that's because the wearer drivers do actually produce a significant advantage, in my opinion, over the Chinese ones, because I did buy the Chinese ones originally, and I found them to wear out very quickly. And I think that's like with the ring lights, I feel like the high quality LEDs and the fact that I've solved a few other problems makes it, a viable purchase. And the USB-C meter, I feel like that's a viable purchase. But I can't really. This thing looks like it's been sort of like swimming a little bit. I can't really come to the same point with my DT880 replicant unless, like I said, I make it such that it won't drop out when it's shorted. Things like that. I'll have to feature add, and I'm not really sure I'm willing to go that far. Okay, let's see where our short is. Well, that is true, Miles. Yes, I found that the same. So you got to constantly redo them. Why that? Is that not contact? What the? 620. Well, it's not a short on the main, which is problematic then. Yeah, B blood. That's exactly it. That's why I want to be able to have it constantly, feed in a bit of current, not too much, because really the limiting factor in a lot of these is the connector itself, and so that connector starts heating up faster than anything else. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm not even sure where I'm going to start on this. I was kind of hoping it would be on a PP bus, but it's not. A P bus VBAT or whatever. Yeah, I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking of designing, but it's a little bit more complicated. You can't just sort of, like I said, you can't just sort of brute force your way through it. You basically have to detect that there's a short and then engage a different behavior. This RF section anyway. There's been a lot of crap floating around in here. Like it's all fine dust grit stuff. A bit of liquid too, I swear. A little bit of focus. Yeah, Miles, that's sort of what I'm already kind of out of pocket, so to speak, with that investment. So I kind of have to wait to recoup to a reasonable level before I go for the next. I can still design this stuff in the meantime. A bit like that cap there looks really shonky, doesn't it? The one in the middle there. But I think those ones do. They have a tendency to be like that. I swear I have in the past dealt with that cap. And it's not shorted, it just looks ugly. Yeah, it's not shorted, it just looks ugly. What, middle right? This board has got a wobble to it as well. Oh, it's the sim tray. Let's back out a little bit. There's a tremendous amount of dirt and junk on this. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Is that a blown up cap I see down there by the PMIC? Wow. Okay, how the hell did that happen? The reason why I'm sitting here going, how the hell did that happen? Because that really looks more like a physical. And look at the shards of trash everywhere. Like this here. I need a new tip. Time for a new blade. Damn it. Good on you, Paul. You organised everything. Now you don't know where anything is. Good on you, mate. I'm just going to get the board holder out. At least that keeps it flat. I'm just going to stick this in the board holder. Anyway, that's a smashed cap. That's not... It's like someone's been in there and just been like a bull in the bull in the butcher shop. Yeah, that's a really good pull. Bull in the china shop. Right there in the middle. It's just had the end clean smacked off it, which means it's probably not shorted, but there are so many other little bits of trash around in this phone that it's making me think someone just sort of like refurbished it, washed it with a toothbrush, and yeah, that was it. Yeah, so this little sucker here. And it's pulled the veer end out too. I might just push the HDR up on this a little bit. It's not a solderable. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying right here. Yeah. Fortunately, that one's not touching anything, but that was pretty close. Yeah, so we've got a smashed cap there. And this is what I mean by the little shards of trash, like this. They are remnants of a chip at some point. Like, you know, the shiny blue top end of a chip. It's not, yeah, no, something's definitely sort of gone through here. But I doubt that's shorted. It's just broken. Oh, look at that, another solderable. This is really... I mean, I know... And look at all the gunk. Look at this gunk here. It's definitely... Someone's just been washing it. And this is really trashy, old, leftover flux. That now has a lot of sand in it. Oh, look at that. What the hell? These almost look like pre-made balls. But I doubt they are, but there's more of the... So someone's tried to pull a chip out, or they've replaced a chip. and they just sort of physically manhandled it to get it out. What's this? This is UV. That looks like a bit of UV cure. Ah. Squeezage out by the nanes. Yeah, and that's flux. So this is, oh yeah, look, you can see there's damage there. What did they replace though? That's what I'm trying to work out. Okay, that's a cap. Wondering if I should even bother looking at the CPU or just... So we've got... Oh, here we go. Or is that... I'm trying to wonder whether that is the UV cure. Doesn't quite seem right. But anyway, we've got over... Bit of squeezage going on there. Wire to the left of that pad on the top left corner. Was it a wire or just a scratch? This here. Is that what you're talking about? There's a scratch there. More ballage. Hairs, stickers. Well, I guess we have a look at the CPU side, eh? It definitely looks like it's being handled here. It's like there's new adhesive over the top of where there used to be old adhesive. Is this... I wonder if the sticker's just going to come off. Whether I'm going to have to cut it. I sort of don't want to cut that sticker, but I may have to. God, I hate doing this. what the BMA71 chip look like. Which one is the BMA71? Sorry. I don't know which one's the BMA. Oh, right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think that's just the film. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's just a little bit of film going over the edge. It's okay in that case. Yeah, that's really does feel like that's been redone. Oops. Let's hope they didn't put higher temperature solder on it. Yeah, that's not lifting. I could feel it moving, but it wasn't lifting. Whereas normally that should just drop. So we'll use a different technique. Cool, wearing your glasses too. That's definitely been off. What the... I can see one cap missing there. That wasn't even my doing that time. And I see balls everywhere. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a freaking disaster. That, did that cap just move again? Oh no, was it just me? Anyway, that cap there was lifted off. And I know it wasn't me because I had my tweezers here. So if any part was going to go, it would be this one here, not this one over here. That doesn't even look like that was remotely even soldered on. It was probably just stuck to the shield. Pull my chute, yeah, yeah. I think it's more interesting as a... Oh, wow. look at the solder balls. There, 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 there. I've got to find out what on... Oh, look at that monster. That's got to come from under the CPU. Surely that one did. What the hell? Oh, wow. It's amazing this thing even worked. And bigger one. It just, every time, it's like an Easter egg hunt. Someone used a Wagner on this thing. Amazing. There's no way this was working before. You can see these parts of... They've been trying to work on... What is this, backlight? I don't know. I don't know my 8s well enough. I am just astounded. And this here, that's been replaced. New solder there. Oh, that's... That missing parts there. Yeah, they missing parts there. Look at this. Yeah. Honestly, it looks like someone just went, stuff it, and just poured in a whole bunch of solder paste and cooked it in the hopes that it would magically solve things. Wow. Buddha worked on it. Oh, that's harsh. Good on you, Tom. Plumber's flux, that would be good. That would be a good time protection system. Like after 2 months, it won't exist anymore. Yeah, you can see they must have really cooked it because look how dark that stuff's gone. Yeah, I know this sort of overfill can be darker, but it's more of a dark grey, whereas this is cooked caramel orange kind of colour. Interesting that the connectors are fine though, and these are all okay. Maybe it is meant to be that colour on this phone, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is. I'm just astounded. It's positively eBay special. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't think I'll be continuing on with that one. Yeah. It's a big fat no thanks. Yeah, that's it. Bench fee. But like I said, I'm curious as to the history behind this one because I can't see... It would have been a damn miracle for that to be working at all. Maybe it was just one of those solder balls just finally decided, that's it, I've had enough of supporting this phone, I'm out of here. Like I said, flipping miracle if that worked at all. Might just need a new charge port, doesn't turn. Well, I gotta admit, when I plugged in the thing, I thought, oh, okay, we've probably got the classic shorted cap somewhere. Well, guess I was a little wrong there. Severely wrong. That's the sort of thing I'd send to Jason Vilmer. It's just sort of right up his alley of sadomasochism. Right. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one. If I didn't know better, that would have been it was like a prank. Okay, just give me a second. I just want to go check on my wife. It's been 45 minutes since I last did. Alright, folks, listen, I'm actually going to call it for the night. It's been at this for almost 2 hours, and we've had a bit of a dud iPhone, so we didn't really do any building tonight of what we were planning on doing, but it's just the way it goes. And anyway, these are just the days of our lives and daily streams, so nothing in particular. We're just here for a bit of a chit chat. Alright, well, thank you very much, everybody, for being here and kicking off the first stream for the channel. Might be again here tomorrow. I will try and set the scheduling because I know that does help with a lot of people, coming in and sort of going, I can see a stream's about to happen, and hopefully that will make everything easier for everyone else. So you all take care. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.